This is a July update on my 112 gallon average reef. I almost forgot to complete this video before the end of the month, but I'm getting to it here. I've added a couple of new frags to the tank. They're both pretty small, but both pretty bright. And I've actually made an improvement to the tank itself. Overall, things are going well for another month. The first thing I did was I finally got around to rebuilding my hood. This is still nothing fancy. I have quite a mismatch of lights, but previous to this I was actually using scrap wood the old homeowners left behind. When I first moved in, I needed to get the lights up ASAP, and that wood was here, so I used it, and I finally rebuilt it to something cleaner. I didn't actually bother painting this because the old one never went moldy. Here is my new short polyp Gorgonian. It's really bright. I've never seen one like this before I got this one. It is quite small, both the polyp size and the actual frag, but it's been growing well in my frag tank, and if I didn't place it now, I would have nowhere to stick it later. I also got this orange leptosirus, another coral that's quite bright. Ideally, I'd like to place these guys better than just dropping them in the middle of the glass here, but there's really nowhere else for them to go, and they do better with lower light. I am thinking of rearranging this area, but that won't be any time this month. My pectinia is really taking off. This is not the first time I've said this, but now it definitely has a lot of new mouths, so it should be able to take in a lot more food. Not that it has a lot of room to grow either, but it would be nice to see it kind of reach out a bit more. While I'm not quite as keen on leptosirus as leptosirus, I really like this pokeroo one, and it's growing onto the rock quite well. Another overgrown coral is this little Elegance. It was just a teeny frag when I got it, and now it's touching lots of different corals. It has actually killed some Duncan polyps, and it's touching some other corals too. So I might have to move it, but really there's not an ideal spot for it in the tank. My Stylosinetta though has completely encrusted over the frag plug, so hopefully it will reach those little tiny clove polyps on the rock. Speaking of encrusting, this leptosirus has really gone nuts lately. This is not the first time it's been on the glass, and it won't be the last. Well, you will see there's a white spot on my angel. I think she got spiked by one of the tangs. I believe she is transitioning to male. She's had streamers for quite a while, but they've actually gotten considerably longer. This is not normal for a female angel, but I guess we'll see what happens. From the side here, you can see lots of corals are either touching or almost touching other corals. I'm really starting to come to the conclusion the tank actually is full. It's not an easy thing to accept. One more shot of the leptosirus. You can see it's still encrusting up that Kenya tree, and it's not bothering it. Unfortunately, I've lost a little bit of my Gorgonian. This is just damage from the leather. It's not a big deal, I'll just trim them off. But I don't really want to frag either of these. I like having the giant colonies. I just need a bigger tank, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. Even the Gorgonian is almost touching it as well. And then here I've got Pallies growing on in acro. And the pom-pom Xena, which I normally frag once it reaches the glass off the overflow, I've just kind of left it for now because I have dozens of frags of it. My zoo and Pallie garden though is looking great. Other than those little tiny frags at the front, everything has grown into each other. I don't often see these snake polyps open, but they are still pretty interesting. Of course, my Sculpus tang starts picking at them while I'm looking at them. Maybe that's why they don't open during the day. So overall things are looking good. I do actually have one new coral, which I'm really excited to get in this tank. I just picked it up, so it's still in quarantine. It should be in for next month's video. Thanks for watching, and happy reefing.